Manchester City.
All right,
The Citizens.
now we're on to the Citizens, the Man City. Obviously, the big signing, the number one thing that was coming out of Man City was Eric Haaland. Calvin Phillips, obviously being number 2. Again, we don't really care about that ear piercing. Ortega, free transfer. And then their big transfer outs, their departures. Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko, Pedro.
Porro, yeah.
Porro,
Stefan on loan.
Stefan on loan. This Man City team, Josh, I'll let you go first on this one. How are you feeling about them? Are you excited about their future? Is this the next evolution of Man City?
Look, let's not be crazy here. This is obviously still one of the best teams in the Premier League. Arguably, I mean, not arguably, they're one of the best teams in the world. I'd be shocked if they finished lower than second in the Prem, and I'd be shocked if they didn't finish in the semifinals at least of Champions League, which, could happen, I think that Haaland, kind of like in the same vein as Nunez, like this is kind of like the next evolution of City, where I feel like they've done amazing things playing with the false 9, whether that was Sterling or Foden or De Bruyne or whoever it was. But I think now that they have an outright number 9 who can stay on the back line, make runs in behind, be dangerous in the box, I think that he's going to, I don't want to say feast, because I feel like there will be a little bit of learning. Yeah, a little bit of a learning period, especially with him and Hayes or Darwin Nunez, with playing in a little bit different styles of strikers than they've had in the past. But I still think that they're going to be a great team. Obviously, bring in like Calvin Phillips along with Haaland, like the rich get richer essentially.
Yeah.
And I will say that I feel like there are definitely parts of last season where they missed Rodri when he was injured and they struggled. And so now I feel like bringing in Calvin Phillips to stopgap when Rodri is out or whatever happens for other places, I feel like is just a very good piece of business. Maybe they spend a good amount of money on him, but I think it'll be really good for them in that Rodri reserve role. But then also, I feel like on the flip side of the coin, a lot is being made of Mane leaving Liverpool, and you can say rightly so, because he's won multiple golden boots in the past, been a key part of our team. But I feel like losing Zinchenko, Sterling, and Jesus, like while they weren't out and out starters every day of the week, I feel like that's a lot of high quality depth to lose. And I feel like, especially seeing how Jesus and Zinchenko are going to played and are going to play at Arsenal, I feel like that might be a little bit underrated storyline going into the season. And while I do think that Julian Alvarez, who was on the arrivals because he came in, I believe, last year, that I think he's going to like be really good. And obviously they still have Mahrez, Grealish, and other like Foden obviously can play up front. I'm not going to say I'm a little bit worried, because I feel like they create so many chances they're just going to score a ton of goals regardless. But I think that losing out on some of their key reserve players may play a little bit into some of their rotational games coming off cups or coming off World Cups or coming off injuries or whatnot. So I'm not going to go crazy and say that in Man City you're going to, have an epic collapse, because you could argue they've gotten stronger this window with Haaland. But I'd say that at the start of the season will be definitely interesting to see how that stuff ends up playing out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the winger position. I mean, I felt like, Grealish and Mahrez, even watching them in the Community Shield, I still feel like they're missing that speed on the outside that both Sterling and Jesus kind of brought to the table, especially Sterling. And I think they're going to miss Sterling a lot more than people realize. And again, it might be a Sterling stan here. Liverpool guy, so of course I'll stand him. But sure. I do think that they are going to miss that outside speed, and I think it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for Pep. And again, I don't want to go overboard and say that he's going to be Ibrahimovic from Barcelona, where he just couldn't adapt to Pep's style, and Pep ended up just getting rid of him. But I do think Eric Haaland and Nunez are going to struggle, like you said, just because of the fact that you look at the way that they play, they're not going to get the same service that they got from Benfica or Dortmund. And I just think that's going to take a little bit of time to get adjusted to the Premier League speed, as the phony coin term is.
I will say on that Zlatan point, which I might bring that up a little bit later when I talk about someone else, but I've seen people say that when Zlatan played for Pep at Barcelona, like no matter how talented he was, he just didn't necessarily fit, whether that was personality wise or play style or whatever. Like Zlatan and Pep's systems just didn't mesh super well, and I think you could see that a lot of you could see signs of that. Obviously, Haaland being a super young player still, like he has time to grow, and especially under Pep, who's one of the best coaches in the world, arguably, well, not arguably, definitely of all time. He'll definitely coach him to play the way he wants, but there are definitely times where I feel like De Bruyne would get the ball and turn into space. And since City's been playing with a false 9 type of striker for the last couple seasons, De Bruyne would be expecting a target man to come and check to him for the ball, but Haaland was he's dangerous when he makes runs in behind. So I feel like that'll be a little bit of seeing out point for City, especially to start the season. But I think Haaland obviously is like one of the best strikers in the world, even at 22 years old. So I think that he will definitely bag the goals. It'll just be a little bit interesting to see how everyone in the team meshes together, from coach to new players and whatnot.
And I think their left back position is also another key concern. I think they don't really have one at the current moment. I don't know who's really playing in that left back position for them.
I mean, I think Cancelo will play there, but outside of Cancelo, you're right. I don't necessarily know that if he plays higher up the field or who else would end up playing there.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna need to splash the cash on Cucurella, but it seems like Chelsea's gonna
like Chelsea's scooping up,
and Man City don't want to spend the money. But again, I do think that this is gonna be a little bit of a regression for Man City. Not saying it's gonna be by much, but I do think that there are certain parts. There's the cogs in the wheel that are missing, and I think it's gonna slow Man City down from where I think a lot of people are expecting them to kind of continue their powerhouse, their dominance for a 6-year run. I mean, even the Warriors in the NBA can't continue their run of dominance each and every year. And I just think that this might be the year where they don't seem as strong in the front third, other than obviously they have good talent up there, but in terms of, like you said, that rotating talent and meshing together, I do think that they're missing that. And from what I remember, I think Pep Guardiola's contract is expiring this year. So does that mean he's gone? Does that mean he doesn't want to be there anymore? We know that Pep isn't a guy that likes to stay at one place for a very long time. And I could potentially see him leaving if it doesn't work out. But maybe that's just me.
That might be you.
That might just be me.
Who knows?
But yeah, I do think that there should be some concern for that, and that should be a signing that Man City should be looking into right away to get a contract extension with Pep.
Fair.